It's Mind Crypto here. Hope we're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And the Wluna saga continues. And obviously, after the last couple of days, TFL being taken to court, or at least the complaint against TFL from the SEC government seems to be plodding on. And obviously, chasing Do Kwon, or wherever he is in the world. Some suspect he's in Serbia. Now, I've just been reading through some of the tweets that have been rolling around, and I've seen some quite interesting ones that bring about thought and theory. Now, this first one comes from Russ, Wluna account, and he has a theory regarding Wluna. With the current supply, impossible to honour 1-1 with Luna would take over $500 billion. What if there was a way to not include the circulating supply from the centralized exchange to decentralized exchanges holdings, have to have a backdoor entry for billions of Wluna minted? So that brings about a very good question. So this is a question: how many tokens of Wluna do retail investors hold? I'd say a lot less than most think. At the end of the day, the SEC's mission is to protect retail, and centralized and decentralized exchanges had to be complacent, negligent to the TERRA fraud. How else would amass billions? Russ continues, I wouldn't end there with the centralized and decentralized exchanges. Any organization involved with TERRA should not be included. How did they acquire so much? Why? What knowledge were they privy to that retail wasn't? When you cut the excess VAT, I believe that retail holders make up a fraction of the supply. If the definition of Wluna that we were all sold on, Wluna equals Luna, that is also now defined by the SEC is true, the supply issue would have to be addressed. Any thoughts? Now, I thought this was really kind of clever, and I like the fact that there is some solutions there, how this could look. But obviously, if this was essentially, all the supply of Wluna was passed over to the Luna supply, I think we're going to see some massive issues. It's basically going to dilute Luna. Literally, it's going to see their holdings diminish almost, because obviously there's 290 odd billion Wluna, and obviously moving that supply over to Luna would cause a massive crash. I noted, obviously down here, there were some replies. Dos Commerce, my two Satoshis is that supply is being removed by first closing ability to mint through small amounts while bots swarm DEX to get what they can and then unwrap. Majority of supplies, handful of entities, largest being CB, as we know. Wallet 1 and 2, in my opinion, might have to be FTX. But looking down at Grumpy Nuclear Squirrel, great name by the way, why does supply need to be addressed? If it is, once again, boys in the basement are picking winners. Personally, I hope Wluna plays out as expected, and over 200 billion Wluna are set free on Luna, and the whales like Coinbase cleanup are huge on short play. Which, as I just said, that would completely obliterate Luna. I don't know if that's the greatest thing, but I do think there's probably better ways of doing it, but that is probably what would happen. And he goes on to say, now, where does Coinbase seem to be positioned here? Lol. Like I've said before, I have scenarios when Coinbase is both victim, hero, and potential villain, even at all the same time. The Wluna fun is just getting started, and I agree with that, because this is a minefield, to be fair. I think there's so much going on, and now we're at the start of this complaint from the SEC, and obviously we've got the tail off where they've got to find Do Kwon and bring him to some form of justice, which I don't think is going to happen overnight. Some extradition that's going to have to take place, which again could take some time. So lots of thoughts there. Very interesting, and almost like resolutions as well. What will happen, or what could happen at the end of this, or at least some sort of fruition. And another one here I thought was really interesting with regards to what might be going on, what has been going on, because we've had complete silence from Coinbase for whatever reason. I think, we all see it somewhere and how we feel about the situation, but there could be a reason for it. And Dos Commerce says, I'm more convinced than ever that CB is pro WLUNA equal Luna. And the timeline that he suggests is CB funds MER, CB lists MER and WLUNA, CB cloud angry in TERRA chat, we may have seen that previously, didn't accept airdrop, DK no comment about CB, which is part of the feed a long time ago, bots pushing seems like CB is at fault, US regulators highlighting WLUNA and MER. Now, I thought this was quite a good theory to look at it, because the point is, and how it goes on to say, how much are we betting these filings that come around specifically about WLUNA include the no comment screenshot during what was likely a non-disclosure agreement? Now, if WLUNA have been pushing for some sort of SEC involvement, well, surely they're not going to remark on anything. And this might be the reason why they've been so silent over the last many months. And GeoGeek says, I suspect that CB had some cooperation for this complaint to happen. They also might be a victim of the fraud. Yeah, could be. I mean, we got to look at this pragmatically. You know, the fact that they've been so silent, you know, are they a victim of this situation that they couldn't really remark on what's going on? So Doscomos says, yeah, TFL basically told them, here's a consolation prize airdrop and to move on, when they were by far the largest WLUNA holder, seller and maybe custodian. After the WLUNA was used to exit liquidity during that giant Wallet X sell-off, I bet that a huge dump came from backdoor access. And then Captain Ron, CB has to be in bed with SEC. So lots of different thoughts there on how this might be resolved in the end. And if you've been following the history over from May all the way up till now, some of these particular remarks up here, you'll understand a lot more, which I'm aware of because I've been following the feeds for the duration. So lots to think about over the next coming months, because I don't think this is going to be solved immediately, but we're all sticking in there. We've stuck in there this long. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm a follower. Basically, I look at the details and find what I find is interesting. I'm not going to go into the TFL complaint because I think there's people probably more qualified than I, and people can extrapolate what they want from it and see what they need to see, and then post that as a tweet on Twitter. And I will look at them as well. I'm sure to comment on those particular posts as and when I see them. So please support my channel. So first of all, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You're helping with the algorithm, and you're spreading the news about WLUNA. So by supporting me, you're supporting yourself effectively by spreading the news about, and obviously people need to know. There'll be people out there that aren't aware of what's going on at the moment. Anyway, so thanks very much for your time. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you later.